morning, green afternoon, green evening, all our brothers and sisters across the globe, wherever you are. People, those are joining us from Canada, Latin America, United States, a very happy and a green morning to all of you. Keep having your cup of tea, your coffee, your jog, and your morning walk or your music, whatever you do. Keep doing that, but at the same time, be with us for a short while. People, those are joining us post-lunch from the entire Europe, we extend a very hearty welcome to all of you. People, those are joining us all the way from Southeast Asia, right from Myanmar, Cambodia, Laos, Singapore, Malaysia, Thailand, Indonesia, Philippines, Brunei. It's a little late evening for you, including our president, who is joining us all the way from Bangkok, Thailand. We extend a very warm welcome. Our immediate past president from Singapore, hearty welcome to you. And of course, our chief patron who is joining us from United States, Woodbury University, California. We extend a very hearty welcome to you as well. At the same time, people, those are joining us from the Middle East. It's little early evening for you. And people, those are joining us from Central Asia, Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Turkmenistan, Kyrgyzstan, and particularly our cardiologist, Dr. Shilpi Mohan. You bring every week a lot of people from Central Asia. Thank you very much. And Geeta Chopra ma'am from Bahrain, getting all the NRIs over there. Anand Prakashji, getting the educators and all institutions of the CBSE, which are there in Doha, Qatar, Bahrain, Kuwait, Abu Dhabi, Sharjah, Dubai. Hearty welcome to all of you. And let me come back to beautiful Bharat, because this week is a week of festivities, festivals, and we have just done with Happy Deepavali and belated Happy Deepavali to all those people, those are joining us today, because every week, a lot of new people. So we extend a very hearty welcome this evening to Mr. Ram Singh. He is from the Indian Administrative Service. He is the Deputy Commissioner for the West Garo Hills in the beautiful state of Meghalaya. People, those are joining us from overseas. He is in the northeast part of India. There are 8 beautiful states over there, and one of them is Meghalaya. This particular program is the initiative of Mr. Tyrone D. Brass, the Headmaster, Sherwood School, Tura, and the CEO, Consilium, who is joining us again from Meghalaya, a very dynamic person. Happened to meet him on webinars, in the Zoom sessions during this pandemic. I haven't met him face to face, but the kind of a bond which we have built up, this pandemic has given kind of a new focus, new alliances, realliances, collaboration, and creativity together for all of us. So ladies and gentlemen, before we move ahead together, welcome to Northeast India Educators Forum. And our focus is our youth, our children, our grown-up population, which is coming up from schools, colleges, universities, institutions, skill centers. And before I move further, I wish to congratulate IRCTC and Ministry of Tourism, Government of India, under the initiative of Dekho Apna Desh, Honorable Prime Minister's vision that everybody should travel to India at least 15 places before December 2022. And there's a new train which has been rolled in on 26th of November 2021 from Delhi. It will be going to 5 northeastern states, and it is 14 nights and 15 days trip. I'm pretty sure that after some time, I'll travel myself, and I'll travel with Mr. Tyrone. We'll take a journey, walk the talk. We will talk about entire Northeast from this particular train together. So with these words, ladies and gentlemen, hearty welcome to all of you and to our both the distinguished guests. On behalf of International Chamber for Service Industry, we extend a very warm welcome. On 25th of March 2020, when the Honorable Prime Minister declared the complete lockdown in the country and everything came to standstill, and when we got in touch with the UNESCO, we learned 1.65 billion children being away from schools, colleges, universities, and institutions. So we thought, as the doctors, nurses, paramedical people are doing great job, why not we should take up something which should be hand-holding, empowering, encouraging, whatever best we can do for our youth, our teachers, our educators, and the entire education ecosystem together. So, ladies and gentlemen, with that as an effort, we took on the journey, and all of us, we moved in the direction where we took on the journey with all the headmasters, principals, teachers, counselors, and most important, the technocrats. Our chamber is in link with 31.4 million Indian diaspora, non-resident Indians abroad. We focus on service industry. The entire GDP is on agriculture, manufacturing, and services. But in India also, the contribution of services sector is maximum. We have just done this year, digital mode, our 27th Punjabi Parvasi Divas, international virtual conference. And we are proud to share with all of you that way back in 1994, when I left Ministry of Tourism, Government of India, having finished my deputation with them, because originally I come from the armed forces and I joined the armed forces way back in 1973. I still recall, it was September 2002, and there was a confluence of different secretaries, tourism, culture, Ministry of External Affairs, and that time it was Ministry of HRD and a couple of other people, and there was a group of other member parliaments, and there was a presentation being made before the Honorable, then the Prime Minister of India, late Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji. And after 8 minutes, the Honorable Prime Minister told me, Major Saab, kindly sit down. It's a wonderful presentation. Thank you very much. I am convinced that we should have all NRIs on board. So, ladies and gentlemen, from 1994 to 2002, there used to be a Punjabi Pravasi Divas. But in 2003, with the vision of the then Honorable Prime Minister of India, and it took on the new dimensions, Pravasi Bharatiya Divas. And the Prime Minister just asked, when do you celebrate this Punjabi Parvasi Divas? Sir, we celebrate on 13th of January because that's a North India festival, Lodi. And he took a pause and he told, we will have Pravasi Bharati Divas on 9th of January. And everybody started looking, what exactly is 9th of January? Ladies and gentlemen, Mahatma Gandhi ji returned from South Africa to India on 9th of January. And who could be a better Pravasi? That was the version of then the Honorable Prime Minister of India. We have been doing lots of events. We have done on medical tourism, cinematic tourism, film tourism, nature tourism, eco-tourism, NRIs tourism, wellness tourism, couple of things. And the World Yoga Day, we have done in a great International Yoga Day celebration, deliberations, everything together. This is the Global Summit and Expo on Health and Wellness. It was again with the sector scale councils of Government of India. But when I look back, and when I moved on deputation from the Indian Army to the Ministry of Tourism, Government of India, God was extra kind to me. I got the blessings of the Almighty, and it's a privilege. Along with my team, I set up India's first institute for tourism and travel management for the Ministry of Tourism, Government of India. And along with the team, we set up and we drafted India's first MBA tourism. Our Ram Singh ji, who is joining us today, the Deputy Commissioner of the West Garo Hills, he comes from Himachal. I must share with him that Kurukshetra University is the first university to start MBA tourism in India way back in 1990. And the second university is Himachal University in Shimla. Professor Malhotra used to be the Vice Chancellor. On 15th of August 1990, I sat at his residence on a portable typewriter, wrote a letter on behalf of Ministry of Tourism, Government of India, and gave it to him. And that was something very nice. And there was an MBA tourism being started. And thereafter, of course, 47 universities started. As I was from the armed forces and I was on deputation to the Ministry of Tourism, Adjutant General of Indian Army, Lieutenant General KM Seth called me. He said, "You are on deputation. What are you doing for army?" I said, "Sir, give me 4 rooms in Bangalore in the ASC center. Let me set up Army Institute of Hotel Management right for the Indian Army. All the children, those are interested to get into hotel management and catering." And it's a proud privilege. Today, it's a full-fledged institution with more than 2,000 students in Bangalore, Army Institute for Hotel Management and Catering Technology. These are humble baby steps. Let's move ahead. When I recently, 2012, 13, 14, 15, our chamber got very close to Ministry of Commerce and Industry, Government of India. Nirmala Sitharamanji, now the present Honorable Finance Minister, that time she was taking care of Ministry of Commerce and Industry, very, very dynamic, very open to new ideas. And present Secretary in the Government of India was that time the Joint Secretary in the Ministry of Commerce and Industry, Shri Sudhanshu Pandeji. And there was a complete deliberation, discussion that what can be done for the services sector. And Amitabh Kantji, the CEO in the Niti Aayog, and the entire ecosystem was so positive over there that 12 sectors were identified under the Ministry of Commerce and Industry, Government of India. Our chamber moved from Ministry of Commerce to Ministry of MSME. And I'm grateful to Dr. Arun Kumar Pandaji that time and Shri Ram Mohan Mishra ji. They were Secretary and Additional Secretary and Development Commissioner that time. They both gave 3.5 years it took for us. I still recall, I do not know how many blueprints and how many action plans and how many roadmaps and how many strategies we gave for service industry that it should be brought at par with manufacturing sector. And we are grateful to present Finance Minister of India. Then on 13th of May last year, 2020, she announced that now in the Ministry of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprise, services sector will be at par with the manufacturing sector. And this is the revised MSME classification. And I still recall that time Anurag Thakurji was with Madam Nirmala Sitharamanji, and together they had announced the new definition for micro, small and medium enterprise. Our youth, those are interested to become startup, self-employed, entrepreneurship, they all got to take a root of it because micro, small and medium enterprise, great initiative. Our chamber is also privileged that our present chairman of the micro, small and medium enterprise with our chamber is immediately former CMD in the Ministry of MSME. He was taking care of NSIC, National Small Scale Industries Corporation. At the same time, ladies and gentlemen, children always believe education should be humor. Education should be enjoyable. Education should be with gamification. Education should be with music, dance, and everything, which is in plenty in the northeast part of India. So our chairman, media entertainment sector of our chamber is Manmohan Singh ji, and he spent almost 2 decades with Yash Chopra ji. All the movies which have been shot in Switzerland and the movies which have been shot in UK. He was also with Raj Kapoor ji. He was also with Gulzar Sahab. He was also with the father of Ramesh Sippy, who made a Sholay. He is at present the chairman of our chamber, and we have drafted lots of projects, how the film tourism, cinematic tourism, entertainment tourism can bring a large kind of employment generation for our children. Ministry of Tourism, Government of India also got convinced, and that time the Secretary Tourism, I still recall Dr. Lalit Pawarji, Mahesh Sharma ji was the Tourism Minister, and of course, along with Girish Shankar ji, the Additional Secretary in the Ministry of Tourism, we had 400 production houses of the media entertainment industry. Together in Mumbai, we took on the journey and we met all the associations, and we got convinced finally that media entertainment industry can play a very important role for tourism promotion. With that as an effort, in 2017, I still recall on 30th of June, with the Ministry of Commerce and Industry, Government of India, we organized entire Northeast India and the ASEAN media entertainment untapped potential to be taken care of. More than 500 singers, dancers, producers, directors, including Janu Barwaji. He basically, released the roadmap and delivered the keynote address. And you can see right over here, IS officer from 1993 batch from the Nagaland cadre, who is a great celebrity in the Bhojpuri and the Hindi films also. And he represented a paper that day over there on behalf of all the states. It is Jyoti Kalashji, and he gave such a wonderful inputs to all of us. This is Janu Barwaji, and coming from Assam, he gave a lot of valuable inputs that what is the potential of Northeast India, what all we can do for cinematic tourism, how the employment can be generated. This was a mega step by our chamber with the Ministry of Commerce. All the 10 ambassadors of the ASEAN countries, they were together with us, with all the production houses and celebrities. Ladies and gentlemen, thereafter, Ministry of External Affairs, Government of India took initiative. I still recall General V.K. Singh ji, and when he was taking care of the northeast part of India, and thereafter Dr. Jitendra Singh ji, and now of course Kishan Reddy ji, I still recall that we had taken up, because the More is to be developed in a very big way, and we took the money, this what you call Myanmar ambassador all the way to Manipur, and we requested the Chief Minister of Manipur, and we had a services exports international conference tapping the potential of services sector for Northeast youth right over there in Imphal. Then with the United Nations Global Compact, Sustainable Development Goals, we had gone all the way to Nagaland, and I'm thankful to Honorable Chief Minister of Nagaland, Nipur Rioji. He hosted the entire conference on 20th and 21st of December 2018 at Dimapur. We had a very big event of the United Nations. Thereafter, everybody started telling that unless you do not develop the Guwahati airport and you do the expansion plan over there, things cannot be developed because it has to be well connected. During this pandemic, we have lost one of our brother officers, that is Dr. Mahapatra. He was that time the chairman of Airport Authority of India. And now at present, he was taking care of in the Ministry of Commerce and Industry, all the DIPP. So over there, on the 1st of August, we had organized a very big function in Guwahati. And then I still recall in Shillong, we had on 8th and 9th of August, 2016, very big function at Shillong, and that was in the Nehru campus, Ministry of Commerce, Ministry of External Affairs, Government of India, and there was an ASEAN Center. Here is Mr. Karopa. Mr. Karopa was that time, Kuljit Singh Karopa ji was the Honorable Chief Secretary. We requested him, and that is the Secretary ASEAN region and the Joint Secretary in the Ministry of External Affairs. This function was held in Shillong in the Nehru campus, and the keynote address was delivered by the Honorable Chief Secretary of Meghalaya. And thereafter, all of us together, because Naveen Bhatia ji was also there, and all of us, we had a function with the Honorable Governor, and this was the brainstorming session, the Act East policy, India's Northeast, and how to reap the dividends. And thereafter, ladies and gentlemen, I still recall with the, our Honorable Minister of External Affairs and other dignitaries, we had a very gala function in Shillong in Nehru campus. And thereafter, I still recall with Sonowal ji, we had a very big function, 6,000 delegates, including NRIs, on 3rd and 4th of February 2018, which was inaugurated by Honorable Prime Minister of India and from and the first person who was there with us in the function. And that time, the other dignitaries, they also joined. And thereafter, with Hemanta Biswa Sarma ji, we had organized another function that basically when he was taking care of health, 100 different from opportunities. Let's move forward. And I think there is a lot of connectivity issue because I'm at a very remote place, but still we will try and get reconnected. Let me just try it out because it does happen, because sometimes things do not move the way you want them to move. Mr. Tyrone, can you see the slide? Mr. Tyrone, can you see the slide?
Yes, Doctor. Yes, it's clear. It's clear.
Okay, okay, because in between we lost the connection for. Thank you very much. Let me just and making education relevant when we talk about education, and thereafter we took on a lot of other things, how to empower youth, how to empower teachers, and of course, at present post-pandemic, we got to take care of children and teachers and everybody's mental wellness, physical wellness, and of course, acknowledge the efforts of the Honorable Prime Minister. It's a historic pandemic, ladies and gentlemen. 25th of March 2020, complete lockdown. And can you imagine on 29th of July, just after a couple of months, there was a new education policy after almost 3.5 decades. And this particular new education policy, a game changer. Education, skills, and the outcome, accountability, and complete packaging has to be done where Shiksha, Kaushalta, and Udmita has to be taken together. Grateful to all brothers and sisters across the globe, those who have been joining us from the different parts of the world. We started our journey on 25th, and I'm grateful to Professor Satendra Dhiman from California. I'm grateful to our president from Thailand, Dato Ramesh Kodamalji from Malaysia, our Sandeep Majumdarji, the president from Cambodia, our another president from Singapore, Anil Manochaji, and of course, Mr. Eric Fault, the regional director, UNESCO, in charge for South Asia, taking care of India as well for the education. On the World Teacher Day, he was with us for both the years. I'm also grateful to all other dignitaries and EdTech platforms and the app developers of the education. They have been the great supporter to all of us. Sector Skill Council for Wellness, Sector Skill Council for Media Entertainment, Government of India, Sector Skill Council for Startups and Entrepreneurs, and of course, Anand Prakashji brought 12,000 people from Middle East. And we are also grateful because our chamber is deeply associated with the non-resident Indians. We had gone all the way for education, skills, and a micro, small, medium enterprise to all our brothers and sisters. Every Sunday evening, 8 p.m., we have got a program with NRIs. Honorable Finance Minister, when she announced 100 new scenic schools to come up in India, our request was, why not we should have some scenic schools coming up, particularly in the Northeast region as well. We have done 31 webinars on this. These are the principals, headmasters, teachers, and of course, right up to the Major General rank people, those had been associated with the Army Education Corps and scenic schools. and the nation should be proud of it that Mizoram is the first state in Northeast which sent 6 girls to the scenic schools. Ladies and gentlemen, untapped potential of film-induced tourism, cinematic tourism, entertainment tourism. A lot of films have been shot in Northeast part of India, particularly when I think about Meghalaya as well. And what a beauty, what a nature. And children, they are very fond of music, dances, singing, acting. And can you imagine that Yogi Adityanath ji took initiative? India's biggest film city, International Noida Film City, which is coming up in 3 phases. We have done the complete case study. If you go through the DPR of this, you will understand how the infrastructure ecosystem to be developed for destination for film tourism. Why not? We should have one integrated film city for entire Northeast in one state, where all the children can get their skills, their expertise. Jammu and Kashmir, the new film tourism policy, which has come on 5th of August, it's going to be the game changer. I'm grateful to Mr. Blah, and that is the president of the Northeast, India Tourism Confederation. They took initiative, and we had organized what is the film tourism potential of Northeast. We have done 8 webinars on this, and we have covered all the states of the Northeast. Thereafter, ladies and gentlemen, I'm proud. These are some children from Shillong. They had come in the program. We also had Vedanta. We had Swamiji, who joined us all the way from Shillong. God should give peace to his soul. He's no more. We lost him during pandemic, but he was with us on 6th of March, 2021. We are also proud that Madam Tanvi Raksam Marak, that is Sunsilk Mega Miss Northeast 2019. She's also from Meghalaya. She came to empower the Northeast youth, how to have positivity, how to be creative, how to be dynamic. She is also from Meghalaya. She also came on the program on 7th of August. I'm also grateful to Madam Veena Raizada, who brought a lot of technology along with Julie ma'am, Nyoi ma'am, and couple of other people, youngsters from Meghalaya. With the efforts of Mr. Tyrone D. Brass, we got a lot of children who participated in the program. I'm also grateful to Mr. Tyrone for bringing Kong Thong, village, whistling village people. And here is the teacher who came for a special webinar, Teachers at the Heart of the Education Recovery, on the World Teachers Day. I'm grateful to Mr. Tyrone for the same. My head bows before one of the finest soul and spirit in my 72 years journey, which I have come on this planet, is Shri Dilip Mukherjee. I don't find words. I think I'm more humble. I become more humble. I'm too humble. I have to learn a lot from him. He is such a ferocious speaker. He's such a dedicated person to the education reform that both of us, me and Dilipji, we lost one common friend, and that is Sir Ken Robinson during this pandemic, because he used to always tell us, what is the purpose of education? Why education? Why to have schools, colleges, universities, institutions? Why children should get formal education? So Teachers at the Heart of the Education Recovery, he had been very kind to be with us on 4th October, on the eve of the World Teacher Day, on Teachers Day, that is World Teachers Day. I'm also grateful to Mr. Tyrone to bring Mr. Mark Stone. What a wonderful entrepreneur, what a motivational speaker, lifetime coach, wonderful. And to encourage other, younger generation, boys and girls from the Northeast region, Mr. Tyrone also brought NEDFI and NABARD, 2 of the young officers, how basically the financial support can come to children. People, those are interested to get into startups and those are interested to become entrepreneur. And I would request every child get some skills. Ladies and gentlemen, Meghalaya is going to have 100 drums Wangala Festival, 11th to 13th November. So our best wishes to Tura. Meghalaya. What a beautiful caption. What a beautiful picture. And what a beautiful, I wish I participate as a part of it. And thereafter, 18th to 20th of November, Megong Festival, Garo Hills, wonderful. And 25th and 26th November, Cherry Blossom, Shillong. That's another festival, festivities, festival, celebration, jubilation, congratulations. So our chamber basically is for teachers and youth empowerment, whatever we can do. In a very humble way, we brought India's first finishing school in India. That is with the help of our Indian diaspora way back in 1994. When I was leaving Ministry of Tourism, Government of India, I thought I'll focus on education. I'll focus on NRIs. I'll focus on cinematic tourism. I'll also focus on medical tourism. And these are a couple of areas, and particularly with the youth and teachers, we can do wonders because post-pandemic, new packaging has to be done, new collaborations has to be done, because over here, we have been focusing on personality development, communication skills, and critical thinking and creativity. Youth, you have got all the power within you. You can do wonders on this planet. And teachers, you got to be more innovative. You got to be more creative. You got to be more dynamic. You got to have a self-learning. And now during pandemic, our chamber has taken initiative and we got the inspiration all the way from America, Canada, Europe, Australia. Everybody is supporting this chamber. No money transaction, everything free of cost, no money to be taken from any student and no teacher to be paid. It's a global confluence where the wisdom of the world is brought together. E-Gurukul, that means Wi-Fi, that means technology, that means let's go digital. You don't require physical classrooms now, you require digital inputs. So E-Gurukul for service industry, and our focus is tourism and entertainment, and both gel with the Northeast very well. So all the boys and girls, those are within the bracket of 14 to 28 years, register, get free confluence, listen to the best speaker of the world, get across to them, pick up one of the scholarship. I'm proud of that girl from Arunachal Pradesh who took graduation in tourism, masters in tourism. She's a vocational teacher. On the World Skills Day on 15th of July, she posted 254 posts in one webinar of 1 hour, 18 minutes for NRIs, and she got MBA scholarship to go to America. Post as much as you can. Share your vision on this YouTube as much as you can. And E-Gurukul is education should be musical. Education should be dancing. Education should be with games. Education should be with humor, fun, creativity, curiosity, storytelling. Education should be relevant to day-to-day life. And future is services export. What does India have? What does Northeast India have? Our youth, our polished youth, the soft skill of the Northeast youth. Because I am one who is associated with Northeast for the last 40 years. And I understand one of the finest skill, soft skill, English speaking skills, communication skills, and courtesy, manners, gesture, body language, personality, dress sense, articulation, that all is in the Northeast. The time has come. India should focus on services exports. Our aim is to increase our exports. Let it be a manufacturing goods or let it be a services. If every child gets an opportunity, if every teacher gets an opportunity to go out for 2 to 3 years, imagine what India would be and what our economy would be. So, post-pandemic, what have we learned from this pandemic? What have we learned from Corona? Basic food, basic health, basic education, earn and learn. And B2B is no more business to business. It is getting back to basics of our life. Tomorrow morning, 9:30, let's travel together to United States. Nobody knows who will pick up the scholarship. 1.5 hour deliberation will be by Professor Satyendra Dhiman from the Woodbury University, Burbank, California. Indian Standard Time tomorrow morning, 9:30. 7 habits of highly fulfilled people. take the journey with him, pick up something. And tomorrow at 11:30, we will have film tourism, education and skills. What skills and what education for film tourism? Tomorrow evening, 5 p.m., micro, small and medium enterprise, service industry. Our focus is going to be education exports. And tomorrow evening, as usual, we are going to have 60-second webinar with NRIs, our Sunday program, and there you will have learned behavior. That's tomorrow evening, 8 p.m. NRIs for Indian education and skills. We will take you to Canada. So ladies and gentlemen, whatsoever human mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. Let's come together. Let's grow together. Let's hold the hand of our youngsters. And we propose to the entire Northeast, all the governments in the Northeast, all the dignitaries in the Northeast. And I understand that your pen can be more powerful than the sword, because I have handled the gun also as a soldier, and I have held the pen also in the Ministry of Tourism. When the file comes, your positivity and your positive words can change somebody's destiny. So ladies and gentlemen, we strongly propose that there should be a teachers empowerment program in Northeast. There should be youth empowerment programs in Northeast. There should be more and more student and the youth cultural exchange program of the Northeast youth. They should visit northern part of India, all the states over here. Film-induced tourism, cinematic tourism, entertainment tourism. And do we understand? 37% plantation of Ayurveda, herbal plantation for wellness tourism, nature tourism, they exist in the Northeast part of India. At the same time, all the existing schools, whatever we have got, which we are converting into smart schools, let's have with the physics lab, commerce lab, computer lab, let's have inspirational lab, innovative lab, creative lab, digital lab, future technology lab, and innovation lab. And services export from the Northeast. Our focus is youth, teachers, and tourism. With these words, we extend a very warm welcome this morning in Canada, America, and Latin America, and this afternoon in entire Europe, and this evening in entire Bharat and the neighboring countries. We extend a very warm welcome to Shri Ram Singh Ji, the Deputy Commissioner, West Garo Hills in Meghalaya, and Mr. Tyrone D. Brass, Headmaster, Sherwood School, Tura, and the CEO. Join me in extending a very warm welcome to both the dignitaries, those that have been very kind to be with us this evening, this morning, and this afternoon. And I request Mr. Tyrone to kindly take on the journey forward from here.
Thank you, Doctor, for that wonderful address, welcome address about the ICSI and the wonderful work that it's being done. Today, we have an esteemed guest, Mr. Ram Singh, IAS, the Deputy Commissioner, West Garo Hills, who's been here for the last 5 years. Normally, DCs do not stay for such long tenures, but I believe he's doing an excellent job here in West Garo Hills, Tura, that the government of Meghalaya prefers to have him in Tura and uplift the district. He has had a humble beginning from Himachal. He studied in Himachal Pradesh. Then he went on to Bombay, to Mumbai. Then he joined the Merchant Navy as a marine engineer, working for a Danish shipping company. After that, he came back and he joined the UPSC and he passed and he became an IS officer. Subsequently, he's worked in Ampati, that's Southwest Garo Hills, and now he's been in Tura for the last 5 years. Welcome, Sir Ram Singh. Good evening, sir. Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, good evening, good evening.
Good evening, sir. Sir, being DC of Tura, West Garo Hills, is a marvelous job. And you are actually a man who walks the talk, the way you've gone about doing things here in Tura. The question that strikes me the most is, how can we take our youth from hope to fulfillment?
Yes, I think a lot of words have been spoken by Dr. Gulshan as far as empowerment of the youth is concerned. The roadmap ahead. I think a lot of talks about service sector policies, lookist policies. Also, everything has been talked about. As far as youth of Northeast and especially in Garo Hills are concerned, they have not got much of the exposure as far as along with the education is concerned, as much as the other part of India they do. And over here, of course, it is not that they want to get exposure, because it's a tribal life, they're comfortable with it. And being a very close knit society, they want to stay within the society itself. So it doesn't matter whether they are poor, although poverty is not much over here. The Northeast, as well as this Meghalaya or Garo Hills, is a resource-rich place. They have all kinds of resources, and people over here are living comfortably. But then, of course, with the coming of age now, uh, as far as urbanization is concerned, slowly, people are getting to know about the comforts and the kind of education, health centers they should get. So they are coming out of jungle life, and they are started to realize that these are essential of life. And that's how the demand is slowly building up. And that's how the people are, especially youth, once they are coming out for education in the urban areas, it's very difficult for them to go back to the rural life actually. So if they cannot go back, so they will look for employment. So if they are looking for employment, the best thing they look traditionally is the government employment. So a lot of education which we talk about is going to the college or going to the university. So our education system doesn't prepare us well for the self-employment or entrepreneurship. It prepares us for some kind of government jobs. Even in the private sector, also it's be it IIT or be it any other technical institute, people wait for the campus selection. So I was there, when I was there in the college way back in the late 90s. During that time also we were looking forward for, of course, our was a technical kind of job, so we were all looking for a campus interview. Right now also in the there is a maxim goes that, yeah, the young people in India, they do first engineering, and then after that they think what to do with the life. So I think that is a kind of lifestyle, that's a kind of education system we have, and it is not new for Meghalaya as such. So, but we are trying to change that focus. The Dr. Gulshan talked about a lot of policy of government of India, be it now the Atmanirbhar Bharat or MSME or Startup India, Stand Up India. The past, I think, 5 6 years, a lot of focus has been changing, and same thing, we are reflecting in our governance standards also. Earlier, we used to have meetings at the office level where we used to talk about the entrepreneur, but now we discuss with them. So we are calling, not only earlier we used to call successful entrepreneur to talk about success, but now we are calling all kinds of entrepreneur, even failures also, even the people who have got loans, and what problems, what issues they have faced. And then once we are talking about it, and once we are putting up in the social media, our bankers meeting, our all kinds of review meetings with the departments, we are bringing in the young people, old people who are entrepreneur, especially self-employed, and as well as people in the service sector. So they are talking to us. So we have series of sessions with these people. And we have created facilitation centers for this, like right now our honorable CM sir has created prime hubs, which will handhold these entrepreneurs. Gone are the days when they used to go from pillar to post to the banks. But now, there for women SHGs, there is a NRLM project, which takes care of where they have got bank sakis, CLF, community cadres, everything, so that people are not ready to go to banks. Otherwise, they feel that long queues, and they go to one desk, they will push them up to another desk, and all these things. And there are multiple departments like industry, like KVIC, and all these things. People get fed up. So right now we have got almost a kind of single window system where people can go. And one more significant thing is, in all our forums, or in all our occasions like 15th August, 26th January, or Meghalaya Day, or any other days, where we used to felicitate people who have achieved in their life, most of them like government servants or teachers, or like, although they are also respected. But then we have started shifting focus to the people who have stood by themselves, who have taken some risk in life. And I think as a government servant, we just take once, this is like once entrance exam, and after that we live comfortably because we are getting salary. And this is the life of everybody, like 30-40 years people serve in the government, and then they just pass one examination, be it any government servant. After that, they, I feel that as a government servant, we don't have any right even to speak about entrepreneurship, because we are the most comfortable people on the planet. As to why, people who are taking risk, you see, the other day we had an interaction with the people who are looking for bank loans, the people who are making chappals, people who have made dhabas. They are the people who have taken risk. Imagine people who have taken loans 2 years back, and then because of pandemic they could not pay, and now their outstanding have come up. So that is a real risk, whereas we have been getting salaries. So it is very awkward for us to talk about promoting people who are taking risk. But then with a free mind, with a free, this we can talk about. At least we can guide them, we can assist them, we can bring bankers on board, we can bring industry people on board, we can make their life so that we and encourage them. And for last 4 or 5 years we have been felicitating them in our programs. And then you will be surprised to know that earlier we used to get only people who are semi-literate and illiterate as entrepreneurs. Right now we are getting highly educated people, MBAs, BCom, MCom. They're all coming forward and setting up enterprise. And earlier they used to take up the same kind of industries, like small industries, and same kind of people used to take. But now, service industry is very, very successful. There huge potential in the Northeast, like music, like art. So people are taking loans for setting up music studio, all kinds of the dance classes, all kinds of entrepreneur things are being taken up. And I'm very happy that State Bank of India, some of the very good officers are over here who are promoting all these things, because ultimately that is also an industry which has got huge advantage. As Dr. Gulshan has talked about, now Northeast is getting connected right now. A lot of cities are getting direct flights. People are asking about Northeast through social media channel, the Instagram, Facebook, etc. We are getting to know, lot of areas. Meghalaya has lot of areas which are hidden. So these gems are, right now getting exposed, and people are coming to know that they can come to these areas. And connectivity is also building up. So we are making circuits. But then how to bring about change? Who will come to ensure that the homestays, etc., the guides, the tourism facilitators, etc. So for them, we need to empower our local youth, and they are coming forward to ensure that we have to promote ultimately, because they are all looking forward, for government jobs. So slowly, I think these changes are coming, and they don't need much of education as far as the hospitality sector is concerned. We have seen, I have been to all around the world because by virtue of my job, and I have seen that the families are maintaining even the 50 rooms hotel by themselves only. They don't need and the attitude of the tourists also now changing from leisure tourists to people who are coming as a niche tourist. They want to see the culture, etc. So B&B and all these things, self-serving kind of people, self-disciplined kind of people. So I think we need to explore those potential, and we are right now pushing at, especially we can't say pushing, but motivating, highly motivating our youth towards that. And I think the changes are coming now, because once that trend that sets in, people get encouraged. The society accepts, it is a societal acceptance only. Earlier people used to ask the traditional questions like what you are doing. If you are not doing government job, you are nothing. But right now they have seen that the administration, the governance, everybody is appreciating the people who are self entrepreneurs. Then they are getting encouraged, they are getting that pedestal, and they are getting that recognition, and now they are coming forward, and they more and more will come forward right now. Yes.
Thank you, sir, for that very encouraging reply. You are one IS officer, at least the first one that I've seen in my 35 years in Tura, where you've made it a point to interact with school-going children and reaching out to them and motivating them. You've come to my school as well and done that excellent job with young students. As an accomplished IS officer and with a lot of power at your disposal, how do you see the vision for the youth of Meghalaya and then maybe India?
Yes, that going to the school has been my habit as far as since the time I have joined civil services. In 2009, when I was as a training officer in Nagaland as assistant commissioner, every morning I used to make it a point to visit one or two schools, interact with the children, interact with the teachers, and encourage them to do something. And that's how I made some modified some career pathfinder charts, made a module of career counseling, and that's how we are running a project called Project Star. I myself along with the DC East Garo, and we are going to each and every schools. We are encouraging the other departments also to go. So this has been going on for past, I think, 7-8 years, not now only. So every district or every subdivision I have almost visited 80%, 80 to 90% of the schools, even the primary schools also and bigger schools also. If you have average tenure of 3 years, you can visit around 400, 500 schools easily. And especially the bigger schools, you can visit more than once. The reason why I go to the schools is because if the children see the teacher's face only, and they can't they don't see anybody like their what they want to become, like if they don't have any interaction with anybody else. Like why I say that certain children they want to become pilot, they want to become engineer, they want to become doctor. So if they have interaction with the doctor or engineer or say police personnel, so definitely they will get motivated. They will remember for all their life. When I was a kid, I used to few officers, they had come to our school. So of course, being uh, uh, you know poor child from a rural area, we used to have that ambition that we should become something. And moment we see somebody is encouraging us and somebody is asking us questions, some general knowledge question, and patting on our back saying that you can become IAS, so it becomes it encourages us a lot. So I think that is the kind of things which we want to do. I'm going to the different schools and asking them some maths question, general knowledge question. Few of the children will be there who will be answering these questions, and motivating them and motivating others also that this is not the end of the road, and then and ensuring that I just give them some assignments, some essays, etc. This is just an interaction for 5 minutes. I am not disturbing their studies. But then definitely they will remember that somebody has come. Same thing about the teachers also. Teachers are all young. And I have seen in our area, a lot of my cousins and all are teachers. And a lot of time, because of loss of opportunities, person becomes, a teacher. Although teacher is not a bad job, but if they stop reading, then a teacher should always study. And nobody is a teacher, everybody is a learner. And I encourage them to learn more and more. I encourage them to read books. Somebody is like 12th pass, I tell them, please do graduation, please do MA, because you are here. More you learn, more better you can teach. And they should also write some examination, some and then that's how the growth is there. If they are just reading what they have to teach in the school, that they cannot grow up mentally. And if they learn new things, if they read news every day, some of the prominent newspaper, they can talk big. We had some of the very good prominent teachers who used to talk about news, etc. Whenever somebody is teaching civics, suddenly maths teacher, after teaching for half an hour, so 5 minutes he used to talk about world affair. So it creates a lot of curiosity. They used to talk about now Germany is doing this, USA is doing this, mathematician this fellow. If in the maths class you talk about some of the Nobel Prize winners, if in the physics class you talk about this year's Nobel, definitely it encourages you. Everybody wants to become engineer. So if some teacher talks about Nobel Prize winner, or some teacher talks about this year's Grand Slam tennis winner is so and so, some at least some of the students will get enthusiasm. All these things are there, which encourages children. Variety of children are there. Somebody talking about some of the famous musicians. The child who is interested in music, they will listen to them carefully. That is how the we have to inculcate curiosity amongst children. That's how children are going to learn. And I think the children deserve that kind of variety of people. And I encourage even the schools to invite some of such people, especially morning assembly, 5 minutes if they can invite, especially just to interact with some of the people who have done great jobs, etc., whom they feel. And not only teachers, some of the prominent farmers who are doing good, you can invite them also. They will tell them regarding struggle of their life. I think that is the kind of schooling is not that every day morning till evening the children will see only the school teachers, principal, etc. They should see they deserve to see the variety, at least to see, look forward as to what to do their life. And I feel that I will continue to do so, and I encourage all my staff, departments, etc., to go to the schools. And I think this is the biggest change we can bring about as far as our jobs are concerned. And I always say that I cannot transform the entire society unless and until I take it up at a very grassroots level of society, that is like small children. So that's how and I'm very proud that whenever I go to the during pandemic also, I used to go to the localities and children used to recognize me and when saying, okay, it's so DC has come. And a lot of people, a lot of children, they know that I have been in merchant navy. So I think and that is a completely different kind of profession, like yeah.
That's wonderful, sir, to see that you took care of the youngest person in society, the school-going child, and children being encouraged to reach for their dreams. Uh, another thing I would like to highlight over here. Over the years, especially this year, the number of young students appearing for competitive examinations like JEE and NEET has gone up a lot. And with the pandemic still going on, and the huge number of students from Garo Hills wanting to appear for these exams, wouldn't it be a good idea if we could have a center here in Tura itself?
Yes, I think that was, that thing has been going on in my mind for last 4 or 5 years, and I remember for last 3 years I have been trying to do that. In fact, I have given various representation to the government also, and one questionnaire which government had given me back, in fact, the National Testing Agency had given me back by saying that kindly let us know the number of students appearing for such exams. And although I am bringing out that answer also, but what I told back also is that, it is not necessary that right now anybody from Bagmara will be appearing for any IIT JEE, because for him the examination center is still in Shillong and Guwahati, so he might not be ready. But moment you bring examination center in Tura, a lot of children, they will, existing children in Bagmara who are in 12th class, they will be taking up examination. And not only that, the subsequent years, lot of children who are supposed to take up arts, you'll be surprised to know 72% of children, students in northeast, they take up arts. So that is huge numbers. That, and science commerce has very less this thing. uh, Assam has drastically changed their strategy, and right now a lot of medical colleges, engineering colleges are coming up. So if we have examination center in Tura, or if we have some engineering and medical colleges like prominent ones, and definitely, the children in Bagmara, say William Nagar, say Ampatti, they will be inclined this year to write that examination. In the subsequent year, children who are supposed to take up art subject, they will take science. And the moment they see that somebody got into IITs or somebody got into prominent colleges, children down below definitely get motivated to take up science instead of arts. So they cannot say that how many are going to write so that they can set up. I even say, please set up examination center, even if 10 children they appear. Let them appear this year. Why not? Next year they will appear. More will appear, because this is how we are going to motivate. We have seen that, over the years, the number of IITians clearing the UPSC was going up. In my academy, same thing. We were the first ones, after many years to appear for UPSC, and after we go through, more and more children, students started appearing. That's how, we set up motivation. And right now we don't have any center for examination, JEE, NEET, IBPS, CAT, CLAT, all these kinds of, SSC. And we have identified now the various online examination centers also, again given representation. We are also doing survey also as per the requirement of NTA. But I have appealed to the government, kindly set up examination center. Demand will grow, more and more people will join. And I have also told them that it is a constitutional guarantee which is given to these people. They are scheduled tribes. 7.5% reservation is there, and they are not open category children. The government has constitutional obligation to ensure that they are encouraged to take up. So as far as population is concerned, I had calculated that out of 25,000 seats in the IITs, they deserve at least 11 seats, as per their percentage. But none of them qualify for the IIT based on their JEE ranking, because hardly anybody appears, and out of some of the people appearing, hardly anybody passes. And if you see the other areas, scheduled tribe, they take all their seats. So that's how, I don't want to get into these diatribes, but they definitely, they are at the, receiving end. And I have highlighted this thing also. Nagaland has got two centers like Kohima and Dimapur. Here also they deserve Shillong and Tura. And Tura doesn't only cater to the 5 districts of Garo Hills, it also can cater to the bordering area of Assam, which has good huge population. So I think Tura definitely deserve, and we have written again and again. And I hope that within the next, I hope that within the next few months or maybe 1 year or so, government has to set up examination center in Tura, and that's how the society, entire society is going to grow. Otherwise, they are only availing their state quota, which is like meager, and as well as they are not getting into the prestigious engineering, medical, all these colleges where they deserve and where they have right, constitutional right. And they are spending huge money in the private university, private colleges, etc. So poor children, they are supposed to get free education, or say subsidized education in the best of the institutes. Yes.
Yes, sir. I mean, that's very true what you said. One thing that I would like to bring to your notice is Meghalaya and the Northeast has great potential for tourism, especially ecotourism. Yet, when we come to Tura or Garo Hills, over the years, we've had this problem with insurgency. And it took a long time to bring insurgency to an end, which happened in 2018. Why does it take so long to bring insurgency to an end when it starts spreading and many people get affected? And that hampers tourism, which has a great potential over here, because people are afraid to travel.
Yes, I think that's very true. And earlier, not only the insurgency, the infrastructure was also very bad. The road was very bad. I think in road they have, this Guwahati Tura road, as it was properly built in 2015, 14, 15 only, and during which time the insurgency was at its peak also. And there are various factors for insurgency, and I think I won't discuss at length, but definitely because isolation is one of the causes also, which breeds insurgency. Because if somebody doesn't, and it is not that foreign tourists never used to come, foreign tourists still used to come to, some of the foreign tourists who researchers and all these things. And I don't think that the insurgents, they do any harm to such people. Actually, the genuine tourists who are coming through proper channel. And tourism is definitely answer to all the issues, because service sector is, again, if you see the major countries in the world, service sector caters to the largest employment opportunity, largest biggest chunk of GDP also. So and Meghalaya, especially eastern part, as far as the Shillong, Cherrapunji, Molingong, all these Dauki are concerned, these are all favorite tourist destination, and they are like well established. There's a proper tourism circuit, and for last 3-4 years, I think that huge resorts, huge hotels and homestays have come up. A lot of youth got training, and plenty of pressure is there to ensure that these are kept open. And western part, I think we need to ensure that this circuit should be complete. Right now we have got our Tura Nongstein Shillong road is already complete, and we should promote this circuit properly, like people landing up in Guwahati, they are first coming to Tura, and from here, if they can take up this Nongstein road, and we can tell them that without any traffic jam and all, within 5-6 hours they can reach either Shillong, or straight away they can land up in Cherrapunji, or somewhere in the middle. I hope that some circuit will come up either in Nongstein, certain waterfall, some Nongkonum Islands, etc. are there. So these circuits has to be created, and somebody has to run this. And I think now lot of young people are coming up, and we are soon going to take it up. I think our honorable chief minister, who was earlier looking after tourism portfolio, and our government is also looking forward to creating this tourism circuit also. And moment these tourism circuits come up, and being a tribal society, there is plenty to see: culture, music, their own kind of lifestyle over here. It's a completely different, as far as Garo Hills is concerned, as far as Khasi is concerned. There are plenty of trails, trekking trails. I've been to a lot of areas, and these are different from other parts of India, completely different. I think the moment people come to know about it, then definitely they would like to visit. There's a definite trend to these kinds of tourism, because people see in the social media and then they come. So I think they definitely will take it up. And a lot of adventure sports are also coming up, and definitely our young people in the South Garo Hills District Administration, East Garo District Administration, where most of the exotic tourism destinations are there. They are training the young people. And moment we have got circuit, I think that circuit needs to build up. Moment they have some chain of destinations from Tura to Shillong, definitely facilities also need. We need. We don't want that if some vehicles are going from here, they have got some vehicle issue, they are lost. So those kinds of things should not be there. So I think slowly it will take 3-4 years, but definitely this circuit will come up. Yes.
Yes, sir. Since you spoke a lot about is climate change, and we are already facing it here in Meghalaya, more so in Garo Hills. Is there any thought going around in the government how best this can be addressed with climatic change and environment and employment?
Yes, as far as climatic action is concerned, surprisingly, I was going to talk about it. As far as the SDG for Northeast are concerned, recently released Sustainable Development Goals. As although amongst the all these 8 states, rank of Meghalaya is one above Nagaland. It's quite below all the districts. But then it is falling behind in education drastically, and lots of other indices. But then, and surprisingly, under climate action, it is at the top. It is at the top as far as climate action is concerned. That is attributed to a lot of programs which we are running for climate action. And if we see that IFAD and these the World Bank projects and lot of bilateral, multilateral programs are running. We have Meghalaya Basin Development Agency, which takes care of convergence of all the issues, and it has done as far as the Meghalaya is concerned, it has been doing quite good job. But looking over here, being in Garo Hills right now, and looking at the scenario, we have seen that basically we are all Meghalaya is a rain-fed state, and we are all depending on the 4-5 months of rain for the entire year. If we see 4-5 months of heavy rainfall, if water sources are again started to dry, so that means that much more action is required, much more action on the part of community over here again, because land belongs to the community, it doesn't belongs to the government. We have got a ridge which is like Nokrek National Park, but then we have buffer area which has been totally habitated. So if we take care of that, definitely we will be able to ensure that water recharges to the ground, and we at least have the perennial stream throughout the year. But then, if we keep on destroying jungles, and if we keep on, removing boulders and sands from our river beds, even up to the source, then it will be very difficult for us to ensure sustainability, at least for the even for drinking water also. And that is definitely a big issue, and the government definitely is working on it. It is working at different level, and NGT and various NGOs are also working on it. And I hope that we will be able to take care of it. Right now, I think we had a series of meetings. Few of the agencies are coming forward for ensuring that some of the compensation is given to the community for maintaining that forest. So be it Red Plus or any other compensation, I think definitely we have to do that. And I think the government is very serious about as far as the tackling the climate is concerned. Looking at the SDG indication only, I can say that although we can say that we are doing okay, but then definitely much more needs to be done. As far as I see on practically on the ground, that now Jal Jeevan mission which we are running should have been depending on the local water bodies. But if we have to fetch water for one village from 5 6 kilometers from other village, that means that that village has lost its reserve water. Yes.
Don't you have the is all so he protects the forest and the PHE water supply needs are maintained. What happens many times is you have two different ministers, which sometimes I believe can clash, leading to an environmental problem.
I couldn't hear
Yes, sir.
properly.
No, I'm of the view that the forest minister of the state should also be the PHE minister, because these two factors go together, the forest and, and water supply. But many times you have a forest minister and another person is the PHE minister, and their 2 points may not be met, leading to
No, I think that happens most of the time in the the government. I don't want to comment on that because that is the kind of
city
point which
and
is
illegal felling.
beyond my reach. I think beyond my scope. But definitely these kinds of things happen. Power minister and the forest minister and all these things. It happens. But definitely, and a convergence can be reached at every point. That is, again, we talked about sustainable development. Sustainable development again talks about two conflicting interests. One is regarding the growth, where we exploit the forest, but one talks about climate action. So, like that is the kind of things which the world is talking about regarding climate action, regarding ensuring that renewable energy is used. And yes, definitely at the micro level or at the state level also a lot of work needs to be done. Yes.
Yes, sir. You've had a very good tenure here in Garo Hills. Could you highlight one of your success stories?
I won't highlight on a single issue, but definitely a lot of work is done, which may not show the result right now. When I was in Southwest Garo Hills, over there, we conducted a lot of coaching, etc., to the students appearing for the paramilitary and army services. And the result is visible now only when I see lot of children, they are joining paramilitary, and then families, like every time I get a lot of queries, a lot of verification, document verification, lots and lots people joining paramilitary. So those are all the kinds of things. A lot of things which we do doesn't necessarily mean that it will show result. But yes, be it education sector, be it the rural development sector, we have at the behavioral level also, at the ground level also, we have done a lot of work. And I hope that within the next 5-10 years it will show fruit. And especially when we talk about young people, a lot of children, they are getting weaned away from the habitual government job, and then they are picking up the enterprise, and they are being happy over there. And I hope that within the 5-10 years they will be will be on their own way. Same way for the road sector also, we have been pushing to bring roads to the all the villages, and we have seen that moment the road all weather road comes to the village, the entire area grows, people migration stops, and all these things are there. And so all these factors are there. So because it is very difficult for me, maybe if I recall, and then after that, after 3-4 days, I definitely concretize my actions, and the, I have not worked out as to impact, real impact is concerned. Definitely I can say, as far as the earlier 4-5 years were considered, they were very, very turbulent, because my first tenure we faced a lot of insurgency. When during that time we were only looking for peace, but I can proudly say for last 5-6 years I'm over here. We didn't have any insurgency related incidents. I think that is the biggest success story as far as the Garo is concerned. And I won't attribute it to me, but definitely we have created an environment whereby we started visiting far off places, and the departments also started going to the far off places. We started visiting the different picnic sites and different jungles, and people came to know that administration is going to the public, and children also started going. I think that was for after many years. And right now also the same continues. People going to the Bagmara, people going to Balpakram, Nokrek. It was never thought out. 5-6 years back, people were hesitant to roam around even in Tura localities. But definitely it was all started in 2017 when I came, and we visited different areas, sometime with the security, sometime without security also. And then we used to put it as in the social media, and then that's how people used to go. And right now people don't face any issue. Wherever, I can proudly say that wherever people feel that there are certain issues, I myself on my own initiative go to that area and I ask where are the people. So I think, yeah.
Sir, Tura being the most important town in the Garo Hills, and our streams and rivers are comparatively than the ones. And I feel we need to, we the people of Tura, along with the government, need to restore the streams to their pristine nature. And I think this is a major challenge. If we can, your view, sir.
I think, yeah, this has been, our ongoing agenda for last 5 years. This is a work in progress, during the earlier DC's time also. And this is, complete. We cannot stop. It's like, garbage management. Like everybody has to do it same way. As far as the cleaning up the river, water bodies, etc. is there. It is from time to time. Everybody has to do it. It's a behavioral issue, and as far as administrative challenge for us. But definitely for the last many years, we have seen that, as far as Tura is concerned, people over here are, cleanliness loving people. If we see that the localities that come up themselves for cleaning up, etc., the only issue is, I think, they need to ensure that they throw the garbage, etc., at right place, and they have zero tolerance. The administration can't be going each and every place. I'm looking forward to those era and those times when we will have CCTV in every nook and corner. I think that time will come, not immediately, because right now only we put the street lights, those are getting either stolen or getting this thing. So I think it is a locality action. We have seen that where locality level leadership is very vigilant and tight. Over there, these feel this less. Wherever localities are vigilant, not vigilant, the more and more feel this there in the streams. So and then we keep on doing these cleaning drives and all these things. Initially, during my tenure, I think 2-3 years we did a lot. And last 1.5 year, because of pandemic, we were not ready for that. The focus was entirely different. Then again, now we are focusing. Now we are picking up again, and I hope that moment our garbage management system gets right. Definitely, a lot of changes will come.
Right, sir.
We are losing your signal in between, Mr.
Yeah,
Tyrone.
yeah. We are losing signal now.
Yeah.
Mr. Tyrone, we are losing your signal in between.
All right. I think Mr. Ram Singh has given some excellent replies. Would you like to throw a question?
Yes. No, absolutely fine. I'm totally contented, satisfied. I've enjoyed the whole conversation, and both of you have taken the discussion so beautifully forward. And Mr. Ram Singh ji coming from a place where he must have worked very hard. I can make it because coming from Himachal Pradesh, interiors, those areas, how much effort she must have put in initially to get into Merchant Navy. It's basically a role model, and it's an inspiration for many younger, our youth. And it is not only Northeast, I'm talking about entire India. It's a great inspiration. He got into Merchant Navy. From there, he cleared the UPSC, and now today as a Deputy Commissioner in a beautiful state of Meghalaya. What a wonderful task he has done. And when he was talking right from 2017 onwards, and meeting younger generation, going to school, going to institutions, everybody, and putting in efforts to bring, your coaching and then examination center, competitive exams and all that to this region. And also wonderfully, he tackled how some foreigners had been coming for some research and other projects also during difficult times, but the tourism went on. It may be a research tourism, it may be education tourism. And today the time has come. I would like to request Ram Singh ji, before we close today's session, there are 3-4 areas which comes to my mind. I would like to request him, because as a Deputy Commissioner, I know, like a commanding officer of a particular area, you are the king of that particular area, and you can implement a lot of good things over there. I would offer from our chamber, let's organize for all your youth in your region, in your area, whatsoever district you are taking care of, one of these days, let's organize creative, motivational, inspirational, and something out of the books, altogether a different life coaching for all the children online, which we can do it right from our chamber, where I can get 1 or 2 international speakers, let children know. We can get 1 or 2 success stories, and where the teacher is also, they also get inspired and youth also get inspired. And our focus should be particularly on the children. Those are about to finishing their schooling, or they have to pick up some skills, 10th, 11th, 12th, or whatsoever is the area, so that they get motivated. That's one part. Secondly, why don't you bring one scenic school to this particular area? If 100 schools have been sanctioned in India, why can't we get one scenic school over there? If it comes, you talked about paramilitary and other areas. I think my dream in my lifetime, if I can see 100 young boys and girls getting commissioned into the armed forces, Army, Navy, Air Force, paramilitary from the northeast part of India, and Meghalaya and Tura taking initiative, I think that would be wonderful. I would feel very, very happy about that. Thirdly, there is a tremendous potential. You yourself mentioned, when you talk about music, when you talk about entertainment, when you talk about talent, when you talk about children, and you used one very nice term, we have to create curiosity. That is the word I picked up. You used that word 2-3 times, that we have to bring in education curiosity. Why can't we bring entertainment curiosity in our education ecosystem? Why not Meghalaya should have a film city? Now, Nainital is going to have, Noida, that is Uttar Pradesh is going to have, Pinjore Haryana is going to have, Punjab in Chandigarh is going to have, next new Chandigarh. Why can't we think of, for the entire Northeast, your region taking an initiative and a beautiful film city coming up over there? Can you imagine? There is no other way of tourism which can bring more employment, entrepreneurship, infrastructure, startup, entertainment, happiness, humor, music, talent exhibition, what basically media entertainment industry can bring. And I think children are cut out from the Northeast very well. Why not Meghalaya should take initiative for that? And finally, you're from Northern India. Let's bring some children from your Tura on an exchange program with teachers to Northern India. Our chamber would be more than happy to host them over here in Chandigarh for one night. Let's take them to Himachal. Let's take them to Delhi, Agra, Jaipur under ICCR or from Anurag Thakurji, Youth and Sports. And of course, you are the Deputy Commissioner. We can bring a small group. Let's start with 50 kids. Let's start with few teachers and let's bring some cultural national integration program and children coming all the way. That's what I would like to recommend this evening.
I second that.
I would like to make a request to Ram Singh ji on that.
Yes, I think this all these suggestions are good. As far as the army recruitment is concerned, we conducted 3-4 army recruitment and a lot of people joined army from Tura. And the Sainik school, I think Sainik welfare, district Sainik welfare office was set up during my tenure only already, I think last 2 years.
Wow.
And as far as Sainik school is concerned, the land has already been identified and we are very soon, we are sending the proposal for that. Definitely, these are some of the ongoing things. Yes. And regarding, this cultural exchange and all, we were about to start and then halted because of pandemic. I think we will be very soon going ahead with that.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Pleasure to have you. Thank you very much.
Thank
you very much, Mr. Tyrone. Thank you very much, Mr. Ram Singh ji. And God bless all of us and people joining us from overseas. Thank you very much for your wonderful comments, your participation.